Verily, Allah forgives not that partners should be set up with Him in worship. The second type, oppression between the slave and himself, and that occurs through committing sins and evil deeds. So he oppresses himself, that is to say, he placed it in a place not befitting to it. He oppressed himself regarding a thing less than should. However, Allah, glorious is He, forgives whomsoever He wishes. Allah said, Verily, Allah forgives not that partners should be set up with Him in worship, but He forgives except that anything else to whom He pleases. The third type, oppression between a person and the people by transgressing against them concerning their property, honor, and blood. Allah will not forgive such a person except if the oppressed pardon him. Otherwise, retaliation should be taken for the oppressed against the oppressor. This is because it is the right of a creature, it cannot be lifted except with his pardon or collecting it. Allah the Exalted has restrained Himself from oppression, that is to say, He held back Himself from oppression because it does not befit Him. Glorious is He and exalted, so He will not hold anyone responsible for other than his own actions, and He will never punish anybody except according to what he did. This is justice. But were he to punish him for something he did not do, such is oppression, and Allah is free from based on His saying, I have restrained oppression from myself. His saying, I and have made it prohibited amongst you, that is, among the slaves, prohibited. Allah has forbidden oppression and informed that He will seize the oppressors and destroy them. Allah the Exalted said, Consider not that Allah is unaware of that which the Zalimun polytheists, wrongdoers. No matter how a person oppresses and persists, he will surely face and meet his oppression sooner or later. The Prophet said to Muad, Beware of the supplication of the oppressed, because there is no barrier between it and Allah. Regardless of whether the oppressed is a Muslim or a disbeliever, it is not permissible to oppress anyone. Even the disbelievers, it is not allowed to oppress them. Allah the Exalted said, And let not the enmity, and hatred of others make you avoid justice. Be just, that is nearer to piety, and fear Allah. The supplication of the oppressed will be answered, even if he is a disbeliever, because Allah, glorious is He and exalted, is never pleased with oppression and transgression. His saying, So do not oppress one another. A party among you should not oppress one the other. This is a warning from Allah. Glorious is He and exalted against oppression among the people. Allah has indeed cautioned us against oppression in many verses in His book and threatened the oppressors. He also cited the examples of the oppressions of those Allah, the Mighty and Sublime, punished, by way of deterring us from oppression. From among the habit of mankind is that they are unjust except those whom Allah shows mercy. Allah the Exalted stated, Verily, He was unjust to Himself and ignorant of its results. Except the one Allah favors with the religion and faith, such a person will be purified from this trait. Injustice is of Al-Mutanabi said, Injustice is of the nature of people. If you find anyone with modesty, for whatever reason he will not cheat. He, glorious is He, said, O my servants, all of you lack guidance except one whom I guide. So seek guidance of me, and I shall guide you. The entire servants are astray except whomever Allah guides, that is the one who He guides and directs to the truth, and makes steadfast, if not for the guidance of Allah by sending the messengers, revealing the books and raising proofs for the people, they would have remained in their misguidance. However, out of Allah's mercy on them, He guided them, directed them, aided them, and made them steadfast. Guidance of two types. The first, guidance that means explanation and steering. This is available to everyone. Allah has indeed guided the entire mankind, the believers and the disbelievers, in the sense that He explained to them, guided them, and directed them to the truth. By sending the messengers and revealing of the books, Allah the Exalted said, that whenever there comes to you guidance from me, and whenever follows my guidance, there shall be no fear on them, nor shall they grieve. He also said, and as for Thamud, we showed and made clear to them the path of truth, Islamic monotheism, through our messenger, showed them the way of success, but they preferred blindness to guidance. Made clear to them the path of truth, meaning He guided them to faith and the right path, but they did not accept the guidance. Rather, they preferred blindness to guidance. This is general guidance. The second, specific guidance, and that is guidance of concordance and acceptance. No one can attain it except the faith of people of faith. So His saying, all of you lack guidance except one were my guide, means I granted him congruence with the truth, and that the specific guidance, as for the general guidance, it is available to everyone. His saying, so ask of my guidance, seek guidance of me by saying, O Allah, guide me, O Allah, direct me to what is good, and grant me congruence with it, O Allah, make me steadfast on it, make a lot of supplication that Allah should guide you. I will guide you, whoever seeks guidance from Allah, the Mighty and Sublime. With sincerity, acceptance and desire, He will guide him. This is because He is near, and He answers, glorious is He. Allah has promised that whoever asks of His guidance, He will certainly guide him, and He does not break His promise. This stresses the fact that the servant should give lots of beseeching Allah for guidance. He said, O my servants, you are all hungry, except on my feet. Livelihood is from Allah, the Mighty and Sublime. He is the sustainer. If not for His provisions, mankind would have been hungry. The creatures would have suffered hunger. However, Allah provides for them and gets the provisions to them out of favor from Him. Glorious is He and exalted. So provision is not by our own power or might. It is only a blessing from Allah, but we only employ the means of seeking provisions. While the results are in the hands of Allah, glorious is He and exalted. He said, O my servants, you are all naked, lacking cloths to cover the private areas with warm and beautify. All these come from Allah, the Mighty and Sublime. Allah, the Exalted, said, O children of Adam, we have bestowed raiment upon you to cover yourselves, screen your private parts, and as an adornment to cover yourselves. That is, it will screen your private areas, and as an adornment, meaning a decoration and beautification. So clothes are of two types. This first cloth for covering the private part, the second cloth for beautification. His saying, glorious is He, so seek clothing of me, that is, seek clothing from me, I will clothe you, because Allah is near, and He answers. This shows the weakness of man and his need of Allah. If he has no power over his book, over his food, and his clothing except by requesting from Allah, the Mighty and Sublime, to bless him, that is proof of his weakness and evidence of Allah's favor. He is the